get him to try to. Oh, are we? Oh, we're on. Come on in. It's the perfect way to end an imperfect week. It's the perfect way to end an imperfect week. It's East Nashville Happy Hour with our guest, Darrin Bradbury. Oh yeah. Right on the wings of the angels of love who are on our side. It's the perfect way to say we love you. Happy Friday, music. Happy Friday, music fans! It's East Nashville Happy Hour. All right, then.
This is a microphone?
Yeah!
How did this get constructed?
It got deconstructed, man. That's why there's tape.
It looks like that eyeball in Star Wars, the thing that it's like
yeah, that flies and
does the thing.
So
I dig it. So there was at once a point where this could go into a mic stand.
That's right.
Correct. Yes.
I don't know what happened to it. I don't know how that happened.
Jay has a problem with round things. He doesn't like.
Yeah.
You're a Midwest guy, and I got a question for you.
Oh,
now,
shit.
being from Jersey, Bruce is our dude.
Well, I'm from, right outside.
You're still
I'm
from
Okay, I'm
Well,
tri-state
all
area.
You're from New
People
Jersey.
say I'm from Jersey.
You're from
all right.
Connecticut,
Right,
right?
yeah.
It's New
15
Jersey.
minutes away
It's
from
exactly.
New Jersey. Yeah.
But there's nothing to be ashamed of. Connecticut's a great place.
Ashamed.
Everything's in the Northeast. So now my question for you is,
For me.
yeah, growing up, I only knew the Bob Seger hits. Now is Bob Seger the Midwest's Bruce Springsteen? Because the more I learn about him, the more I realize that dude was the working class hero.
It was great.
He was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He was like, did you follow what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Was there the reverence growing up in the Midwest for Bob Seger that there was for us in New Jersey with Bruce?
Absolutely. I only know this now, and Jay and I were just talking about it. I grew up in Northwest Ohio, very close to Michigan, and Detroit was the big city,
Yeah.
even though I was in Ohio. And absolutely, he was ubiquitous.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up liking him because he was always on the radio.
Well, that's kind of how I felt about Bruce.
Yeah.
Because Bruce was at every family gathering, there was somebody blasting Bruce Springsteen. It lost its kind of meaning growing up. Like I always
Exactly.
loved it and appreciated it like he was part of my family, but I never wanted to dig any deeper because you wanted to escape Bruce Springsteen growing up in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But man, I watched some interviews with Bob Seger. He seems like the nicest guy in rock and roll.
Yeah, he's
Like
so
the
well-mannered.
real dude. And you look at the videos of him from 1970 whatever to now, a lot of the same band members
Oh, yeah.
were there as they
Yeah.
are now. And that's
Very loyal.
like as a dude who plays music for a living, like you think to yourself, like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be that dude who's
Yeah.
playing with the same guy, doing the same thing, just working it. And it made me think about the Midwest's relationship with Bob
Mhm.
Seger.
When I was in high school, then I moved to Bloomington, Indiana, and then it was Mellencamp.
Oh yeah, I love Bloomington and Mellencamp, but not
We
mine.
like him. I was crushing it the other night, man. I mean, it's funny that you brought it up.
There's nothing wrong with Bob Seger.
Not at
It's
all.
fucking great.
Not at all.
Map it out. You may have heard that he's from Jersey,
Mhm.
but let's start with where you were born, the town.
I was born in Union City, New Jersey.
Where's Union City in Jersey?
Union City is walking distance from Manhattan. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city.
And you moved around within
Within those
Jersey?
contexts of North Jersey, up and down in different spots, and then the next big move was when I was an adult, which was to Charlottesville, Virginia.
Aha,
And
all
that
right.
was probably around 25.
Okay.
The rest will kind of remain. There was a lot of little towns.
Okay. And then from those little towns to Nashville?
From Charlottesville to Nashville.
Okay.
About 4 years ago.
Been here 4 years, all right.
4 years.
We always like to ask if there was one magical musical moment that you can remember, whether it's a concert or listening to one of those albums on the bus, a particular album that made you think you not only loved this music, but you wanted to do it yourself?
You know, the first memory that comes up is not one of those memories, but it's the opposite of that.
Okay.
I remember there was this songwriter guy around New Jersey when I was a kid. His name was Peter Karp, and he still does stuff. I think he actually lives in town now. But I had met him at some sort of through some sort of mutual friend. I was a kid. I wanted to be a songwriter.
How old?
I think I was probably around 13 or 14 at the time, but I had wanted to be a songwriter since I was like 7. It's like all I ever wanted to do. I heard Billy Joel's ballad of Billy the Kid, and I was like, that's it. That's what I wanted
Right?
to do.
He was like, I don't really know this song all that well, and I was like, brought up the same thing. When we were kids, that was radio staple.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's just like you turn the radio, it's there.
So anyway, I met this guy Peter Karp when I was not a very good songwriter.
At 13, you weren't very good?
No.
Oh, man.
But this guy,
late bloomer, huh?
But this guy Peter Karp was like 40 or he's like 30 or 40 or something like that. And he toured and stuff, and I thought it was really cool. And I was like, that guy goes out and plays songs. He had his album. I had his album. It was great. He called me up, and he was like, hey, Darrin, I have to miss this show. It was at Staten Island at the Muddy Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Will you fill in for me? And this was like my big break. The Muddy Cup in Staten Island. And it was like a 2.5-hour set. It was like not very good. People were expecting to see Peter Karp, not Darrin Bradbury. I had this guitar and I was playing my songs, and I was bombing like a motherfucker. And I was trying my best. I was up there. I was trying to be a folk singer. There was a tip jar, and I remember at the end of the night, I got this tip jar, and it was from this one lady who was sitting there all night watching me. She was the only person I thought was digging what I was doing. So she wrote a note. She stuck it in the tip jar.
I thought this was good.
And I was like, this is going to change my world. And I reach into it, and she goes, keep trying and clean your guitar. There's a lot of fingerprints on it. And it was like it was all right. It was like it was such a sad moment in my life that it just kept me going.
But it kept you going.
Oh yeah.
Instead of the opposite.
Yeah, it was. That was a pivotal musical experience.
And we're not going to see any fingerprints on your guitar.
No, you will actually.
Oh,
Because
okay.
to this day, that my guitar is always covered in fingerprints.
You just to be defiant towards that.
No, I just never remember to clean it. It just doesn't. Did you ever go to the Muddy Cup and
Yeah, man. I'm all over the boroughs. Any place that was, a place that was kind of legendary
It was
in
just,
its own right.
it was a brutal 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like people were unhappy. Wait staff was unhappy. The place was sparsely filled. It was murderous. But it got me prepared for what life would be like.
Sure.
For forever.
And you also had a little experience with things not being perfect, obviously.
Yeah,
and so when you go into a show now that you wish could be under different circumstances, you can handle it.
Oh yeah. I get my nuts kicked in on the daily.
Let's see. What's going on right this very moment? You just played with Margot Price.
No, that was a couple months ago.
A couple months ago. Well, yeah, but fairly recent. Not
I was on
what's
tour. I was on
happening?
tour most of the winter. I got to open for some really awesome people: Ray Wiley Hubbard, Elizabeth Cook. Which some of those shows were the best shows I've ever played in my life. I never thought that I would get to play theaters. You know what I mean? Like even small theaters. So Ray Wiley and Elizabeth and Billy Joe Shaver and a bunch of Driving and Crying. And my goals are to play for as many people as I can. And to get the opportunity to continue to have the opportunities to make them laugh, because making people laugh is probably the coolest thing in the world.
How do you balance the poignancy with the humor? Because yes, almost every song has moments in it where I laugh out loud, but there's very rarely it's just comedy. Like if nobody had ever heard your music before, who's the two people who are watching this, if they haven't heard your music.
Like,
One's in Germany, hello.
Hey, German people.
Maybe they would think that, oh, he's a comedian. Because you mentioned that a couple different times, but certainly there's as much heartfelt stuff that doesn't rely on comedy as there is humor. Was there a question in there? I don't
There
even
was.
know. Help me, Darrin.
I told you I'm not very good at the interviewing process.
I'm not
He's
good at the interviewing process.
He knows.
You're not good at answering the question. No, I'm just
I'm not.
Just kidding.
Maybe I can clarify for you
Sure.
because I know what you're saying. Dean. One of my favorite bands of all time is from New Hope, Pennsylvania, which is close to Jersey.
Good peoples.
Which is
from New Hope.
Which is Ween.
Oh,
And,
dude, Ween.
We were talking about outside, kind of hinting at this. Is there humor in music, and how do you balance it where you don't go too far, where you become Ray Stevens, but you have a tinge of, humor and levity to your often, serious songs? And how do you prevent yourself from just crossing the line? I think Ween did it great.
They do it great. They have a bunch of songs I just love. I don't. I don't know how I got here. I think when I was a kid, I was like everybody else. I wanted to be Bob Dylan or Conor Oberst or something along that lines, where I was a serious artist who wanted to be heard. And I think that there was a certain moment where you realize as an adult that you're not going to be Bob Dylan. You're not going to be a lot of the idols that you idolize, and you have to really ask yourself who you are. So when that moment came to me in my life, I was living out of my car, sleeping in the back seat, having given up 15 years of my life to be something, and if you can't laugh at that, then you're not going to live. You're not going to survive.
Right.
But I think that to go further on with comedy is, and I think it's funny. Your question and where this is kind of standing is sort of like when you go up to a comedian and you're like, "Hey man, how are you funny?" I have no fucking clue, and most of the times in my life, I'm not actually funny. I'm, serious or sad or. So I don't know how it exactly happens. What I can tell you is that I sit at the piano and I hit chords and I talk to myself. And when something makes me laugh, I just keep rolling with it and I keep talking to myself until the whole thought flushes itself out. And that's it. I don't know. I don't know if I ever walk into a tune trying to be funny. I walk into a tune trying to follow a lead in my mind and hoping to stumble upon truth. And I think then the roundabout answer is that when the truth is often funny. So if you find the truth, it tends to, and you can't fake that. So if it don't work, it don't work,
It's been wonderful to have you. Let's move to the couch and hear some music. This move to the couch is not sponsored by Magistrate Cabernet Sauvignon. That's what we were kind of sipping on, but they didn't give us any money. We gave them money, and therefore they are not our sponsor.
Who was that?
The wine that I've been drinking.
You've been drinking wine?
Yes.
What wine?
What do you think I've been drinking?
What wine? Oh.
Is this our second week in a row that we have a Fender endorsed?
That's right.
Fender has.
I guess it's endorsed.
You're endorsing them, or they're endorsing you?
They gave me 2 guitars, and it was really nice of them because I didn't really have proper guitars to do this professionally. And they were like, "You need a proper instrument."
What are we going to hear today? If you have time to give us a couple.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple. This one's called Motel Room. I wrote it in the shower of a motel room. Motel room, you smell like Lysol and sex. The sex was not mine, I'm just sitting here watching the TV set. Afraid to go under the covers for what lies beneath. But I suppose that's an apropos metaphor for me. Motel room, shame is the name of our game. Whether you're flipping tricks on a mattress or taking the stage, fame is coming. I can hear her moan through the wall. It took her a while to get there, but I suppose that's true for us all. Motel room, 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 motel room.
You like
You know
that?
who you look like
If you like it, then we'll do it.
in that jacket, and you know you're kind of a taller dude, and like J.D. Souther, man.
Oh man!
That dude got all the fucking chicks.
Well, J.D. Salinger, you said?
J.D. Souther.
Souther.
Oh no, J.D. Salinger got no chicks.
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin stole his girlfriend.
Stop it.
Yeah, during World War II, he went off to go and fight in the war. He was an up-and-coming writer, and she got in cahoots with Chaplin, and Chaplin,
He didn't say a word. He just went up to her and was like,
Yeah. Well, they just started dating.
"That's it." He just started dating.
Whoa, what the hell's going on here?
So long, folks. And thanks, Harry.
See you next episode, everybody.
Bye.